Some stories in sports, they're about so much more than the final score. They're about the journey. And tonight, we're going to unpack one of those great comeback stories, a story of pure grit, resilience, and one absolutely incredible emotional night in Milan. Okay, let's get right into it. Honestly, everything you really need to know about this story is right here, in these 6 words. After the final whistle, Gabriel Jesus, one of the best strikers in the world, just admitted, "I had tears in my eyes." But these weren't tears of pain. They were tears of just pure, overwhelming relief. The kind of tears that only show up after a long, dark road finally leads you back into the light. So picture this. The stage is the legendary San Siro. The result? A massive 3-1 win for Arsenal in the Champions League, which punched their ticket to the knockout stages. It was a huge win for the team, for sure. But for one guy on that field, it felt like climbing a personal Everest. And that's the real question, isn't it? I mean, in a career that's been packed with big moments, why did this night, this one win, feel so absolutely monumental? Well, to really get the emotional weight of it, you have to understand what came before the celebration. You have to understand the ordeal. See, this dream night he talked about, it didn't just happen out of nowhere. It was the end of a brutal, soul-testing journey that pushed him right to his limits, both physically and, mentally. Yeah, 11. Just let that sink in for a second. Think about everything you can do in 11 months. Now imagine you're an elite athlete in your prime. That's an eternity spent not being able to do the one thing you live for. 11 months. Away from the field, away from his teammates, just fighting his way back. And the reason for it all was one of the most feared injuries in all of sports. The ACL. For any athlete, that's the big one. It's not just an injury, it's a total career crossroads. It's a long, lonely road of rehab that tests your will to keep going every single day. He said it himself. He's been at Arsenal for 4 seasons, but because of injuries like this one, it feels like he's only really played for maybe 1.5 or 2. You can just hear the frustration in his voice with. But here's the kicker, right? At this level of football, the game doesn't just stop and wait for you. Getting back to full fitness, that wasn't the finish line. Nope. A whole new battle was just getting started. The fight to win back his spot in the starting 11. So he walks back into this absolute pressure cooker. He's not just competing with his own recovery anymore. Now he's up against a brand new, big money signing in Viktor Gyokeres. And oh yeah, Kai Havertz is in the mix too. There's no time to ease back into it. The message was loud and clear. Perform or someone else will. And this right here just tells you everything you need to know about the guy's character. Just listen to that. In a moment where he has every right to be selfish, to only be thinking about his own comeback, he says, "I am so happy I scored and Vic scored." That's not just a teammate talking. That's a leader. That's a mindset that makes everyone around him better. Okay, so that brings us all the way back to that electric night in Milan. With all that backstory, all that pressure, all that doubt swirling around, the stage was perfectly set for him to answer every single critic and remind the entire world just who Gabriel Jesus really is. And boy, did he answer. He didn't just answer, he roared. A goal. Then another one. A personal 10-game goal drought in the Champions League? Shattered. He didn't just play well. He grabbed that game by the scruff of its neck and pretty much single-handedly dragged his team to victory. This was him. This was him back to his absolute devastating best. 2 goals. A brace. On the biggest stage, under the brightest lights. After 11 long months of doubt, this was his definitive statement. I'm back. And you gotta understand, the impact of a performance like that, it echoes way beyond the final whistle. This wasn't just about getting 3 points in the group stage. This was like a bolt of lightning for the entire club's belief system. I mean, just listen to his manager, Mikel Arteta. He doesn't just say they missed his goals. He says, "We have been missing Gabby." His presence, his energy. This performance wasn't just a win for him. It was a catalyst for the entire team. And can we just stop for a second and appreciate the history he made that night? That brace, it took him to 25 Champions League goals. Among all the legendary Brazilians who have ever played in this competition, only 2, Neymar and Jardel, got to that number faster. I mean, that is the elite company we are talking about here. And this is such a great point from the legend Clarence Seedorf. His actions gave his words a whole new power. It's one thing to talk about being a team player, right? But it's something else entirely to back it up with a match-winning performance that raises the bar for everybody. He's not just competing anymore, he's elevating the whole competition. Then you've got a guy who knows a thing or two about scoring goals, Wayne Rooney chiming in. He sees that fire. He knows exactly what this performance is. It's a direct message to the manager. It's not an ultimatum, it's a declaration. It says, you need me, I'm ready, put me in. That's that competitive edge that separates the good players from the champions. And that's really what it all comes down to, right? A story like this one is a powerful reminder that the body and the mind are completely connected. The physical rehab is grueling, no doubt about it, but it's the mental battle, that fight against doubt and fear and impatience, that truly forges a champion. It really makes you wonder, in the heart of an athlete, is there even a line between the two?